Yes, but it's very difficult.
Look at Cynthia. Cynthia, what are your thoughts on Me Too movement?
Me Too movement.
And then we'll go to consent. We have to talk about consent.
The Me Too movement.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are my thoughts on the Me Too movement?
How am I supposed to just...
You know my thoughts on the Me Too movement.
What are your
from
thoughts?
This conversation.
What are your thoughts?
I think it's a needed movement.
In Kenya?
In Kenya, I think it's definitely
Because you guys
needed.
said like it hasn't reached here, but what exactly did you mean by that? Apart from things like catcalling,
Because
what
people
else?
here are
How
not
can-
being
how
held
can-
accountable.
how can... If somebody's supposed to be jailed for catcalling,
Not cat. Okay.
That's
Even that's
like-
not
how
okay.
can how can a Kenyan man show appreciation? Like they see you passing on the road and are they supposed to compliment?
You don't have to.
Can they?
Sometimes.
Can they compliment though?
No, I find that the staring, I find it disturbing too, because that's what they do.
They stare.
Okay, so they
And they
shouldn't.
don't hide it.
So they shouldn't look and they shouldn't compliment.
No.
I mean, there's a way to compliment a woman.
Please, by all means, trust me. There are people who need to learn from this. How can a Kenyan person like compliment you without offending you?
I mean, sometimes a hi, it's nice, and then just move on.
A hi.
And sometimes you don't have to compliment.
It could just be, hey, you look beautiful.
Yeah, you look beautiful. You don't have
Full
to
stop.
compliment sometimes either.
That's not sexual harassment.
Hey, you look beautiful.
With that dead stare, like, hey you look
Okay.
beautiful.
And then move on.
And then
Don't
move
stop.
on.
And then walk away.
Yeah.
So I'm not supposed to see
Actually,
her. How I
those-
don't get the number. I never get to
you
see
don't
her.
have to.
If you have to vibe it out, like, does she give you like a, oh, okay, you know, does she? It
What
has to
about
come
the
from
shy
you.
one? You see, that's why like, do we need a dictionary? Because now I have like 5 seconds to read like body language, your eyes and everything before I move on.
I mean,
Oh,
like,
how do I know I'm supposed to get the number?
maybe like
Look,
what you
even she doesn't have
what
the
you-
answer. She's just
No,
like,
No, because it's hard. Because sometimes you have some days, you know. It depends on the days. Because some days, like,
So you let me know of the day I can compliment you and follow up for the number in advance before I meet you, or how is this supposed to work?
for me, most of the time, I prefer not to even be stopped.
What?
Just
So how is someone supposed to date you? Guys, you see,
I approach you. Like, what do you mean?
you just stayed with white
I
women for
approach
too
you.
long. You stayed with white women for too
like,
long.
No, that's not it. I think like the best thing, because we've been approached before, like in London,
Yeah.
and we've created friendships from that. Not
Yeah.
that you've necessarily dated, but you've gotten to know the person.
Yeah.
And I would say maybe the best thing is like if someone, first of all, people need to stop being so thirsty. There's a lot of women. If I'm passing by, though you meet more people. If we meet more than twice, then I'll more likely to open up to you and be like wanting to be curious about you. You get
Yeah.
my point? So that it's not nice to be chasing women and everything being one-sided either.
Okay.
It has to be mutual. And so if I'm walking down the street and I'm always walking down the same street and you're also always walking down the same, one day you say hi, you're beautiful, stop, and then you move on. That would intrigue me much more than, hey, you look beautiful, where you going? Let me carry your bags.
Let me get your
Da-da-da-da.
number. Let me get your number, man. Let me
freak
get
me
your
out.
number. Let me get that number. Let me get that number. But I think it's just completely different, even from there. And I think from you guys just staying there for quite some time, it makes you forget like how guys operate here. And that's why definitely, because you might find like that's completely 80-70% normal in so many places here. Like I've also said, Kenya being top 10 sex tourism destination. I mean, there are some places if you go, you're definitely not supposed to say hi. You're supposed to say how much. See,
Yeah.
that's in Mombasa. There's some places, because otherwise you're wasting your time.
Like lollipop.
Nah, listen. At Lollipop, I told you, you just tip one. You can tip 100. I mean,
But you
that's
said
it.
there are people standing outside as well.
Yeah, no, outside for sure. Outside, you just ask how much, because you're wasting your time. And other places, other clubs in Mombasa as well. If you go, you'll be wasting your time having a conversation and buying drinks, because you'll stay, and then by the time it gets to like 3 or 4 in the morning, the lady will be like, okay, so how much do you have? So you see, you were wasting this whole time. So you just need to know your environment and how you're supposed to behave. And trust me, it's not like prostitutes in Kenya are only the ones that stand by the road. It's normal, completely normal girls. So you'd be hanging out like, yeah, you're having a good time, you're thinking, and then she'd be like, how much? Like, how much for what? For the bill? She's like, no, how much do you have? Stop wasting my time. I need to know whether you're a client or no. So if that happens to you 3 or 4 times, what happens the next time you go and meet someone who's not an escort? What are you going to do? You'll ask them how much? How much for what? How much
I'll
to take you
smack
home?
you. Like, I don't have that patience anymore.
That's the thing.
I don't.
Trust me. Like, even if I was to prove it, it's just like we're not in Mombasa anymore. Otherwise, I'd have given you like a test run to just see, like, you know, how that thing works. Not that I pick up prostitutes. I'm just saying that I do not.
I didn't say
I
you
do not
did.
have sexual relations with escorts, but I promote every woman who wants to do that. Kudos to you. Their choice, right?
Their choice.
Yeah.
No, but I would say if once women, particularly on this continent, start being financially independent, like if every woman is financially dependent, then we can really talk about choice.
There are no
And then-
jobs
and
though,
then-
right?
And also about choice, then I think the Me Too movement would like truly, you know,
Yeah.
setting into gear, because like if you're a secretary to a really powerful man who's like, you know, smacking your butt whenever you pass by or something like this,
Yeah.
you're most likely not going to say anything because you don't want to lose your job. Chimamanda Ngozi came out and said that when she was 17,
Yeah.
she went to an office and this guy put his hand in her breast.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and that was a traumatic experience for her. But then how do you come out and say this highly respectable man, like she's now in her 40s and this is now when she's saying it?
Yeah.
And that is, I haven't looked into it that much, but that is one example, and I only have one example from it. So I think once women have, you know, finances.
But there's so many things to just that, because
What do you
just the
want with
way
this
it's-
mic? Should we tape it over your mouth? With your consent,
No,
of course.
Sit still.
With your
I'm just saying there's so many things to just that women being financially independent, yeah, because just the way the government is here and just the way I feel like women are not empowered as men are in
Yeah.
some way.
I
So
agree.
like some women don't really have a choice,
Yes.
that they have to be escorts at Lollipop. Shout out to Lollipop.
Shout out to Lollipop, of course. Shout out to Lollipop. Yeah.
But you know, so I think it's like it's a confusing, hard, you know, thing. But I do agree, like the women who are able to be financially independent should do that, because I have met women here who. I've met some women here who are very like, oh, a man has to do this for me, he has
Yeah.
to pay my rent,
Yeah.
he has to take me out. If you don't have any of that, then I can't, you know, I can't be with you. And it's
So
just like,
I think it's more than 50% right
and
now.
it's like unfair, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like
That's how the society.
that's
is
how
set
the
up.
society is set up here. Like, you know, there's a lot of pressure on men. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
London, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have money, no one is gonna give you their time.
No,
And it's just like, what are you doing for
I
yourself?
still get time even on my lowest days.
Yeah, but it's like
I think it's always a good thing, even regardless if you have money and you still like, you know, just know how you have social skills and everything.
yeah,
Because at times you get
That's
like,
important.
and
because that's how
everyone
you,
has a skill.
yeah,
Everyone has a skill
Yeah.
they can master.
yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's
It's kind of tricky because now you end up having girls who are dating assholes with money, and they're in those situations where like now you're a baby mama, this guy has like 3 more baby mamas, he treats you like shit, but there's nothing you can do because you still kind of need
Yeah.
the financial help for everything regardless. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's tricky.
yeah. And I also think it's important to like empower young women so that they don't have to grow up and
Depend on men.
depend on men, because I feel like it starts like maybe they, you know, they're having a hard time at home and they don't know how to, you know, make it out in the world, and by the time they grow up they will probably do what they've seen.
What-
And that's
what-
mostly like
Since we're still just talking about this, what kind of guys would you ideally like date? Apart from these savages that don't know how to behave and everything. Yeah. What kind of guys would you go out
dates.
for? Yeah.
I like funny, man. Like funny and kind. And
They do
somebody
have
who's
to have money on top
you
of
don't
these
have to
things,
be
right?
ambitious. You don't have to be rich.
Or are you looking for a clown?
Because I'm thinking, like, especially at people our age,
Yeah. Yeah.
in the 20s, like, this is when you're creating your life. I
Yeah,
don't expect
yeah.
anybody in their 20s to be, like, super, super rich. Because this is the time where you're actually trying to make money, so that by the time you're, like, maybe in your late 30s and 40s, then you have
in Kenya, they expect you to have money at your 20s.
But that's not fair, because I don't have that much money in my 20s, because I'm still, like, creating my life.
Hear that,
So-
ladies?
So,
Pointers.
So I think it's like, it's about ambition. As long you can't just, sit around. You have to have ambitions. You have to have something you want to do in your life, and then we can work on that together.
You do, honestly, those are the qualities you'd look for in a guy?
Yeah.
And you're not lying?
Ambitious. I'm not lying.
I can vouch.
How about you?
Can
It's
you
true.
vouch?
I can vouch for her. That's
Really?
true. Yeah.
I don't really.
She looks like an asshole, like if you just don't...
That's true. People do think I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
People do think I'm
You
a bitch.
look very inconsiderate in so many different ways.
But I am the sweetest person. I am super
Once you
sensitive
get
Really?
to know
and
know her.
emotional.
Or that's just like a self-defense
It's
kind
not a
of thing?
self-defense.
Really?
It's a resting bitch face.
Okay.
Not-
Okay, so guys...
Because if you're scared of that, then
Yeah, if you're scared of
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
then you're not worth my time.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm super sweet.
Wow. Sheila, how about you?
still figuring out, because I haven't met, and that's why like my aim for right now is not to settle. It's just basically to get to know people and different personalities, so I can determine like what
How do you do
what
that, though?
I want.
You date different people, you sleep around?
No, not necessarily. You just talk to people. That's just it. You just talk and
Become friends.
you become
First.
friends and you understand their
Because I
personalities.
remember, I can just finish.
Because
finish
like
here before-
you know what's so funny? Like you can be with a group of girls and we're all talking about like how men are.
Yeah.
I hate that shit, though. I hate that
like,
shit.
Obviously, we're just clueless because we're going around in circles, like trying to break down
Yeah.
like how men
How
are.
men are.
Yeah.
What do men want?
And
The
all
book
of these,
and the movie.
yeah, and all of these things, and it's just like the easiest way is just to talk, just talk to them, and that like, and so that's my main thing. You asked like, how's the dating life in Norway?
Yeah.
It's sad.
It's sad.
It's sad.
People don't even approach you.
They don't. They just look at you. And they just look at you, and then if you approach them, it's like, and also you have to take into account, okay, we come from a small place, so we know everyone, like we know all the black people,
Yeah.
we know, and so
And they've been in circles that we've been.
The same. Oh shit.
So it's like,
so most black women, to be honest, like
Yeah.
in Bergen, most, at least those I know, do not date there. They either
No.
travel to Oslo,
You have to travel.
Sweden.
Oslo, Sweden, or London.
You
I
have
mean,
to
if you
travel.
do, if you do
Yeah.
date black men though,
Yeah.
If
because
you-
there are some who do date white men, Norwegian men. Or
But that's what's
non-white men.
complicated, because like if they don't come to you correct, it's just a super turn off. Like
Yeah.
and then like when they approach you in like the most sexual way. You know, it's like they're not interested in knowing.
Like how
But
my
how?
Nubian
But
queen.
how?
How?
What I'm
They
starting,
say things like "Hi, my Nubian queen," "Hi, my chocolate princess." I've really
Wow.
gotten that.
or like I got a big dick.
Yeah.
Come
and
on,
I'm white.
that's-
Like,
And they
Wait,
speak English.
that's the first pickup line.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But we're not saying
Everybody.
everyone.
Yeah,
We're
but I'm
generalized.
just saying, like, yeah. You kind of like
And
you've experienced that.
But like
Yes.
it happens that way because people meet when they're drunk.
They only talk
That's
to you when
like
they're drunk too.
So that's why like
you have to get like a bit.
They're
Yes,
not, they don't
always.
have the confidence to talk to
So
you.
somebody can't approach you during the day and just like holler at you.
They'll just stare at
Oh,
you.
that no, because it's
Yeah.
just very abnormal. Even I would be like, "What are you doing?"
What?
People don't talk to each other like you don't understand. Communication.
I can't even break down. Like
I would have
where we
so
live.
much fun there.
He would not.
I
Maybe,
would.
Yeah, okay, he would. Like he's the
Because
type.
I like playing around with people because I'll be like, oh.
When in Chokozi.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you remember like we had an incident at the beach, right? we had let's talk about that. We had an incident at the beach,
Gunfights.
right? So, and of course the audience is, you know, you can chip in. to
What
this.
is your audience? Predominantly women, men.
a lot. It's just a mix of everyone because I bring like so many different guests. So, and from like different races, communities, all those things. I just mix it up so that I can grow my podcast with everybody. So, we were at the beach, right? So the two of them, they have their costumes on, right?
No, we didn't. We hadn't even come that far. I still had my
We were
pants
still
on.
sitting down, but
Yeah.
I had my costume on.
You had a nice, cute bikini on, right? Yeah, very nice. What's the designer? Where did you buy the bikini?
Fashion
Sheila, why
Nova.
you laugh? That's Fashion
It was
Nova,
not Fashion
Yes.
Nova. You
Is
bought
it?
here.
right?
Not the last
I mean-
one.
The-
The
I
first
I'm
day.
always-
That was. You
Oh
bought it
yeah, no,
here.
that was the pink
For-
one.
that-
No,
that
that
was
one was
Forever
Forever
22.
22.
Ah,
We call it Forever 22.
so here's the thing. I know if you see a water gun, and I warned you guys that we're going to use these water guns, right? I thought the message was clear that these water guns are going to be used amongst the group of people that were there, right? So I'm like, yo, get ready, we're about to use the guns. And then I was told I need consent to use the water gun.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, listen, that's why
Not the way you're formulating it, but
for the
yeah,
audience.
the way you were telling
The
us.
way
Okay,
you're
well,
saying
okay,
it
listen,
makes
listen.
people think
Okay,
of
we
water gun in a
shot,
different
we
way.
shot first and then we ask later, right? But I do want to ask one question, right? And you have to answer honestly. At the end of that beach experience, did you sit back and say like, that was actually kind of fun?
no.
No? The water guns were not fun?
The water guns were not fun
No.
because we had
You
said
sprayed me with water guns, first of all,
Because it was revenge.
without my consent.
was revenge.
First
that
of
was
all.
revenge.
That was
And
revenge.
also, like, we were very clear, like,
Don't
don't
want,
want that.
don't want water
we
guns.
don't want water guns in our faces. Like,
And
my
the
hair,
other-
I don't want water in my hair.
The other
I
thing,
came to the beach to chill. I was very clear.
She
And
was
also,
so
it was the
upset.
first
She
day
was
we
so
met.
upset.
yeah, it was the
It was
first
the first day
day.
we met, so it's not like
That's
we
how
knew
we break
how you
ice.
guys
That's
were.
how we break ice.
It was
You
a-
definitely,
broke.
you definitely melted the ice. You did not break it.
No.
You melted and killed
No,
it.
but regardless, over the past how many days? 3-4 days. Didn't we just get along well?
After that, yes.
Yeah, but it's
And
not
see,
about
thanks
that.
to the water guys, get yourself
It's not
some water
because
guns.
the water gun.
Yeah.
No, it's not about that.
It's because of what?
It's because like aside from the water gun, you guys were cool to hang out with.
Yeah,
We're still not
we're
happy
cool
about the
though,
water
right?
gun. We forgave you.
But we're cool though,
Yeah,
right?
you're cool. Yeah.
Did you have a good time? Did you experience
Yes.
everything like?
It
Yeah,
was,
what time was
Have you
like-
experienced that with anyone else in Kenya during your
See
stay?
you. See
obviously
you.
because it's our first time in Kenya, so we don't know if
For
this
you,
is
for your
standard.
first-
Yeah, for me,
Please,
it's
her
yes.
first time
Listen,
in
you
Kenya.
you will
Have
search
Kenya.
and you will not find those people. So,
Well, I wouldn't say that.
I listen. Let's
Yeah.
just stick. You wouldn't say that, but let's stick to that first of all. So,
Because we did meet some people, you know,
really, before or after?
before you.
Oh, and I wonder why you never hung out with them again.
We,
We did not. We did. We just at different places.
Just different
Oh.
places.
Oh Lord. Okay. Anyway, but how was just Mombasa for like a vacay? Because I know you don't get to experience that like a lot.
Every
you come-
year when I come back home, I go to Coast.
You do always standard.
Always. It's like you have to go to Coast.
It's a vibe. What do you do
Vibe.
when you're in Norway for fun?
Drink every weekend.
That's the only thing too.
Hike.
Apart from
You hike?
drinking and hiking.
Do
Not
you
really.
hike?
This last year I did not.
I hate
hiked
hiking.
actually 3 times last year because I had guests, so that was a tourist activity
Yeah, I
with them.
remember that.
But otherwise,
Those are the only things to do: drinking and hiking.
we're locals. Yes.
And
Nothing
also,
else.
there's not a lot to do. I mean, you can go bowling and shopping and
Well, let's
Go to
not
the
say that.
movies.
Let's not say that because last year we've had an exciting year.
That's true.
We did a lot of extra. We did a lot of art stuff.
art
like
stuff. we went to exhibitions. We created. Things for museum,
our work was featured in a triennial
work?
arts
work?
festival called Bergen Assembly, and we did like a exhibition which featured like work done by the people of color community.
Yes, printmaking. We made images that represented how we felt being minorities
Really?
in Norway.
So
You guys get so emotional and start talking about just being minority. Like
No, but
you
there-
It's not
see your
fun.
faces, you're just like, oh,
But okay, minority can be a lot of things. Let's just say
Yeah.
like minority, people of color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really for me it was a big experience. I think the whole last, it's so weird to say last year, we're only in the 3rd of January.
Yeah.
But the whole
yeah.
last year was about like speaking up and voicing your frustrations, because you have to understand, like, having these discussions about being a minority and a person of color in Norway is very rare. Particularly
is.
particularly
People
where
don't
we're
have-
from. We don't talk about it
talk
in
about
public
it.
because of fear.
Yeah.
Fear of. But
But
can
talk
they
about
actually
it.
like harm you, or
No.
you just get like
It
now?
can make people uncomfortable to
And
the point,
defensive.
and defensive to the point where, like, if you're having this discussion with someone who knows a lot of people, and that might hurt your work opportunities, you're
Oh,
not
you
gonna
might
have
get
that
blacklisted, like in some,
can have
especially
in a
if you're.
subtle way. Like, it won't be obvious.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're bad mouthing Norway a lot, but
Right
it's
now?
the reality
It's the reality.
for us.
Yeah, for us.
No, it's just your personal experience, and there might be somebody who's watching or listening, and even just from the podcast, they might reach out and like, yo, you guys actually going through this and that, experience this, or somebody else would want to have that conversation because they're of a different place and they didn't know that's how it's being interpreted when they behave in a certain way.
And also that thing, like the Bergen Assembly, a lot of things came out. You did the Kulturtreff.
Yeah. And even she started an African Student Union in Bergen,
Who?
Cynthia.
Really?
So that came out of that
How-
arts project.
How did that go, Cynthia?
It went well.
She doesn't look like she can commit to anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just known her.
You just
Yeah.
look at me and you decide like this
Yes.
is who she is.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Do I look spoiled to you? Is that?
Not spoiled. Just like you just.
None my
Cynthia.
business.
No. Cynthia is just like the person. If she walks in the room, she's just like, all of you people better be lucky that I'm here. she just gives out that energy. She's like, you guys better be lucky that I'm here. Am I lying?
No.
You're probably
Why
lying.
you say
You're.
no?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, five.
But I think that's a very positive thing.
No, it makes me sound like
No.
sound like
Narcissist, that everything
like a
should evolve
narcissist.
around her.
No, I would disagree. I actually
That's what
think-
I'm saying. That's what I'm
But
saying.
that kind of thing, I would say, is positive, because you know, like, your time is important and that you're choosing to spend that time with certain people. Like, I don't
But yeah.
see that as negative.
Yeah.
Unless
People
you
should
make
be-
people feel less than you, then that's negative.
That too.
Yeah.
I don't
Did
make
you feel
people
like?
less than
Did you
That's
feel like you were less than?
Ah, come on now. We're talking about me. I'm a whole different breed. But that's why, like, even for me, most people come to the podcast, ask me, how do I interact with different people? Because you see, like, if the way we are talking right now, when was the last time you had all these topics in a conversation with even people that you know?
we have
Often.
Often.
time.
Yeah.
Really?
Often. Because like I said, 2019 was a very beautiful year. Like, we met like-minded people.
You
and
went out of your element or something?
No,
Or it was
really,
just a
not
normal
really.
thing?
We
It was just a normal
maybe the
thing?
group expanded. We can
Yeah.
say
Okay.
that. Before it was smaller. Now it's like, okay, there's so many more people I know that I can have this discussion with.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's interesting. Because I do have people on the podcast that I've just met like today, tomorrow, and like we just become really, really good friends just because of the conversation we had on the podcast. And I hope so it's the same thing with you guys. When you go, like, you know, we just still stay in touch.
Yes, of
Send me those
course.
pictures you promised me, right?
What pictures did I promise you, Johnny?
Okay, let's.
Oh, Johnny.
Hey, you got that too, Sheila, right? Hey, listen. That's a discussion of the podcast, right?
Discussion.
But what else haven't we touched on? Because I just wanted to like touch on